In 1200 BC, the ancient world was thriving. The Egyptians were at their peak. The Hittites controlled all of Anatolia. The Mycenaean Greeks were trading across the entire Mediterranean. The city of Ugarit was one of the wealthiest ports on earth. Babylon was flourishing. These were not small tribes or primitive settlements. These were sophisticated empires with written languages, complex trade networks, standing armies, and centuries of accumulated knowledge. And then, within the space of about 50 years, almost every single one of them was gone. Not weakened, not conquered by a rising power. Gone, cities burned and never rebuilt. Writing systems vanished, entire languages disappearing from the archaeological record overnight. Historians call it the Bronze Age collapse. It is the greatest unsolved mystery in ancient history. And we still have no idea what caused it. To understand the scale of what happened, you need to understand what existed before it. By 1200 BC, the Eastern Mediterranean had something remarkably similar to modern globalization. The Hittites, the Egyptians, the Mycenaean Greeks, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, they were not isolated. They were deeply interconnected. Archaeological letters have been found showing these empires trading tin, copper, bronze, glass, ivory, spices, and textiles across vast sea and land routes. Their kings wrote to each other. Their merchants knew each other's cities. Bronze was the oil of the ancient world. You needed copper and tin to make it, and neither existed in one place. Every major civilization depended on long-distance trade to function. It was an interdependent global system, and like any interdependent global system, when one part started to fail, everything connected to it started to fail too. Around 1200 BC, something began to break. The first sign was the Hittite Empire. One of the most powerful states in the ancient world simply stopped. Their capital city Hattusa was burned to the ground. Its population vanished. The Hittites just ceased to exist. Then Ugarit, the great port city of Canaan. The last letter ever found from Ugarit's king was written as the city was burning. He wrote to the king of Cyprus, begging for ships and soldiers. He described enemy forces arriving from the sea, cities burning, nothing left. The letter was never sent. Archaeologists found it in an unfinished kiln, still being baked when the city was destroyed around it. Then the Mycenaean Greeks collapsed. Their palace culture, their writing system called Linear B, their entire civilization gone within a generation. Egypt survived, barely, but the Egypt that emerged from this period was a shadow of what it had been. City after city, across more than 1,000 kilometers of Mediterranean coastline, destroyed, abandoned, or left in ruins that were never rebuilt. So what happened? Historians have been arguing about this for over a century. The most famous theory is the Sea Peoples. Egyptian records describe waves of mysterious attackers arriving by sea, displacing entire populations, burning cities, overwhelming armies. But modern scholarship has moved beyond blaming them alone, because you don't need invaders to explain what happened. Drought, mega drought. Geologists have found evidence of a dramatic cluster of major earthquakes across the region in this period. It wasn't one thing, it was everything. A perfect storm of drought, raiders, earthquakes, and cascading economic collapse hitting an interdependent system that had no resilience left. The whole world broke at once. What followed was called the Dark Ages, not metaphorically, literally. For roughly 300 to 400 years after 1200 BC, the archaeological record goes almost completely dark. No major buildings, no written records. Populations collapsed. Cities that had housed tens of thousands of people shrank to villages or disappeared. It took some areas nearly 1,000 years to fully recover. The Greece of Socrates, Plato, and Alexander the Great was rebuilt on the ashes of a civilization that came before it and vanished so completely. Homer's Iliad described the Mycenaeans as giants, heroes who lived in a golden age before memory. He was describing a lost world. The Bronze Age collapse remains the greatest mystery in ancient history. The system it destroyed sounds disturbingly familiar. Hit subscribe. Every week on Lost Ledger, we uncover the stories they didn't teach you in school. Drop a comment. Do you think it could happen again? See you in the next one.